Good morning. Nice to see you all here in Reykjavik, Iceland. I hope you have enjoyed this morning so far, and I'm so pleased to be able to be with you here today. And it is especially pleasing that we have here a room full of women in innovation, women that are changing the world in many directions. When I was born in the capital of Iceland, here in Reykjavik, a woman was the president of my country. Here it is. My mother often talked about the beautiful day when she went for election in Iceland in 1980, when she went to vote and voted for a president that would and could be the first woman to be ever elected in a democratic election to play the role as a head of state. And Vigdís Finnbogadóttir was elected the fourth president of Iceland, 10 years before I was even born. Role models, they have always mattered. They are really important. A role model is someone who influences you and leads others by example. And this can be a world leader, it can also be a teacher or a celebrity, it can also be an entrepreneur, a family member, or even just your peers. Role models can help you to see you in the world and where you want to be and where you can fit. Because women have needed that they would be shown that they fit in every position in the world. And role model can also be a mentor, and it is important for us all to bear in mind that in a way we are all role models for someone. And when I was taking my first steps into politics, a woman was also a prime minister in Iceland, even though I strongly disagreed with many things he did. But I therefore grew up that in fact it was normal for me that women were leading the country. And therefore, I went into politics at the age of 25. I was not the half of the age, of the average age in the parliament even, both in Iceland and even it was higher worldwide. 3 years later, I was appointed Minister of Justice at the age of 28. Youngest in the world in that position, a record that has already been broken from another female. But I went into politics probably for a similar reason that many of you went into entrepreneurship or innovation, because we believe strongly in our society. We believe strongly that different voices need to be heard for challenges ahead. Despite if it is in climate or sustainability, if it's in politics or social affairs, wherever we are changing the world, we have this strong feeling that we can change it. And for myself, I wanted more young people to have a seat at the table for the future of Iceland. And I couldn't only stand there and criticize older politicians, which I started doing you're a little bit too old. And then I was like, what? They are just trying to change the world as well. Younger people need to step forward and ask for our positions, run for real offices, and put their words into action so that can change. Because variety in a group is always the best groups. And even in a country like Iceland, I don't know what you see, okay. Oh, here's me, nice. I wasn't born when the other photo was taken, but. And even in a country in Iceland, which has topped the gender equality list for over a decade, Icelandic women, like Andri said before, and young people still have hurdles to overcome, but we want to be the leaders. And if the leaders doesn't run fast enough, somebody else will get you. And even in Iceland, had some gender and age-based criticism. But that's what we have all went through. I think that women in politics often are criticized into being too old or too young, outdated or not experienced enough. And I think I also needed to fight a little bit inside my party for my own identity, that I wasn't like known to being the daughter of my father or a puppet of some male power figure in my party. But you know, I have achieved that hurdle, because in the newspaper last year, my father was mentioned as my father. So, but furthermore, we must abolish the notion that innovation, business, politics it is not a boys' club. And we all know that diverse leadership leads to better decision-making in every agenda, and that representation shapes policy in all kinds of our society. And we need our male friends to help. If we want things to change, we cannot think like we have always done before. We have to change how we think and how we do things in every matter as well. And when a new government was formed in Iceland in 2021, based on a new coalition of 3 political parties, we all agreed that arrangement of ministries should reflect the requirements of a modern society. Growth and prosperity are the government's guiding lights in economic affairs, and we are convinced that prosperity will be best ensured through a sound economy, equal opportunities, and action for the benefit of innovation, the environment, and the climate. And within the new government, I got the best job. I got the opportunity to shape a new ministry, a role of Minister of Higher Education, Science, and Innovation. And it is very exciting to have the opportunity to create, for the first time in Iceland, a ministry that combines those pillars of our society. I both have higher education, our great universities, the research, the science, the innovation. I have the digital transformation and the high-tech industry. I even have the space and the IA. So sometimes I just call it the Ministry of the Future. And when I came in the ministry, for the first couple of weeks, I listened to the universities and the researchers, the innovative society here, and the people that had been in the mind of why we had come so far in the innovation sector already. And I put out my mission statement in the beginning so we could all run after the same mission statement in the ministry. And my mission statement as a minister was that the key of improved living standards and increased opportunities here in Iceland is for ingenuity to become Iceland's greatest export. And by this statement, I don't mean that innovation should only become a separate pillar of our economy. But ingenuity and innovation should also expand and strengthen our classical industries into new and innovative and sustainable direction. And I want to pave the way for a knowledge-driven economy. And I'm convinced that we have much to provide to others based on our strong foundation in research, development, innovation, and international collaboration. And we've taken big steps already. We are much more compatible for the innovation sector than just a couple of years. And now the R&D of our capita is already 2.8%. So we are getting there to be the best in the world as well. And I want to help with that. And there are still many challenges. We need more foreign experts, and we've tried to make that easier for them to come, to pave a highway to Iceland, to get a work permit, so it's easier here to work and help our innovation to blossom. But also it's my mission to strengthen the funding of our universities and strengthen the universities and their collaboration with our society, because that is the ground where a lot of our greatest companies and innovation thinkers have come from. And here in Iceland, we have many examples of the opportunity that innovation gives us, both in business and government and in many areas. We need to rebuild the system in a better way. And only in my ministry, I'm trying to build a ministry in another way. A ministry shouldn't always work like they've done for decades. It also needs to take the mind of a new generation and how we should work and all the innovation ideas that we need to invent in the government and ministries. And here in Iceland, we have so many companies that are a great example of success stories. Because we are a small country that still has really big ideas. We have Kerecis and Controlant, Alvotech, Carbfix, Össur Marel, CCP. I could mention many more, but companies that are built on innovation and play an important role in our society and the Icelandic economy as well. But for these companies, it hasn't always been pure success stories. It never is. Their success did not happen overnight. And they are illustrative examples of ingenuity and resilience. Companies based on Icelandic ingenuity, not only our natural resources. And when you look at their history, they all have in common that they have gone through all kinds of difficulties. Difficulties that required both endurance and stubbornness, and sometimes a little madness to get through as well. And there is more that these companies have in common. They all have roots and strong connections to our universities and research. Dear guests, we all have ideas and opinions, which is really important. A strong view we also have on how society should function, what we can do better, and how we can lead the way in positive changes in so many areas. I would also like to say that it is important for us as women to stick together. In our part of the world, where all statistics show that we are heading towards equality, I think it is important to remember as well that the patriarchy has a few centuries on us. I make it my mission that women also stick together and form alliances and support each other in politics or in innovation and all others. We need to pick each other up. And we are much more than daughter of our fathers. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy the day here in Iceland.